Now, in order to answer the question, where do we go from here, which is our theme, we must first recognize where we are now. When the Constitution was written, a strange formula to determine taxes and representation declared that the Negro was 60% of a person. Today, another curious formula seems to declare that he is 50% of a person. Of the good things in life, the Negro has approximately one half those of whites. Of the bad things of life, he has twice those of whites. Thus, half of all Negroes live in substandard housing, and Negroes have half the income of whites. When we view the negative experiences of life, the Negro has double share. There are twice as many unemployed. The rate of infant mortality among Negroes is double that of whites, and there are twice as many Negroes dying in Vietnam, Iraq, Iran. Amen. Amen. As whites in proportion to their size in the population in other spheres, the figures are equally as alarming. In elementary schools, Negroes lag 1 to 3 years behind whites, even in 2016. And their segregated schools receive substantially less money per student than the white schools. 1/20th as many Negroes as whites attend college. Of unemployed Negroes, 75% hold menial jobs.
Where do we go from here? First, we must massively assert our dignity and worth. We must stand up amidst a system that still oppresses us and develop an unassailable and majestic sense of values. We must no longer be ashamed of being Black. The job of arousing manhood within a people that have been taught for so many centuries that they are nobody is not easy. Depiction of Blackness and Negro contributions. Even semantics have conspired to make that which is Black seem ugly and degrading. In Roget's thesaurus, there are 120 synonyms for Blackness, and at least 60 of them are offensive. As for example, blot, soot, grim, devil, and foul. There are some 134 synonyms for whiteness, and all are favorable. Expressed in such words as purity, cleanliness, chastity, and innocence. A white lie is better than a Black lie. The most degenerate member of a family is a Black sheep. R.C. Davis has suggested that maybe the English language should be reconstructed so that teachers would not be forced to teach the Negro child 60 ways to despise himself, thereby perpetuate his false sense of inferiority, and the white child 134 ways to adore himself, and thereby perpetuate his false sense of superiority. Go ahead.
Very, very nice. Thank you. Next week, just to remind you that we will have excerpts from the adult members of our family. So look forward to good times. In the meantime, in your flyer today, there's some interesting tidbits. Take time to read that. The history behind Black History Month. You know, we never look at our programs entirely, but just read that. Very informative. We thank you.
The tendency to ignore the Negro's contribution to American life and to strip him of his personhood is as old as the earliest history books and as contemporary as the morning's newspaper. To upset this cultural homicide, the Negro must rise up with the affirmation of his own Olympian manhood. Any movement for the Negro's freedom that overlooks this necessity is only waiting to be buried. As long as the mind is enslaved, the body can never be free. Amen. Psychological freedom, a firm sense of self-esteem, is the most powerful weapon against the long night of physical slavery. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can truly bring this kind of freedom. The Negro will only be free when he reaches down to the inner self and sign with the pen and ink of assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. And with the spirit of straining towards true self-esteem, the Negro must throw off the manacles of self-abnegation and say to himself and to the world, I am somebody. I am a person. I am a man with dignity and honor. I have a rich and bold history. How painful and exploited that history has been. Yes, I was a slave through my foreparents, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of the people who were so simple to make me a slave. Yes, we must stand up and say, I'm black. I'm black and I'm beautiful. And this self-affirmation is the black man's need, made compelling by the white man's crimes against him.
To be buried. As long as the mind is enslaved, the body will never be free. Psychological freedom, a strong sense of self-esteem, is the most powerful weapon against the long night of physical slavery.
That's right.
No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill could totally bring this kind of freedom.
The Negro will only be free when he reaches down into the inner depths of his own being and signs with the pen and ink of assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. And with a spirit straining toward true self-esteem, the Negro must boldly throw off the manacles of self-abnegation and say to himself and to the world, I am somebody.
I am somebody.
I am a person.
I am a person.
I am a man with dignity and with honor.
I am a man with dignity and with honor.
I have a rich and noble history.
I have a rich and noble history.
How painful and exploited that history has been. Yes, I was a slave through my foreparents, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Not ashamed?
I'm ashamed of those people who were so sinful to make me a slave. Yes, we need to stand up and say,
I am black and I am beautiful.
And this self-affirmation is the black man's need, made compelling by the white man's crimes against him.
For those of us who agree with the sentiments in this speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., stand up. Stand with us. Stand with us and say, I am black and I am beautiful. I am black and I am beautiful. I am black and I am beautiful.
Always be smooth. There will be some rocky places of frustration and meandering points of bewilderment. There will be inevitable setbacks here and there. There will be those moments when the buoyancy of hope will be transformed into the fatigue of despair. Our dreams will sometimes be shattered and our ethereal hopes blasted. We may again, with tear-drenched eyes, have to stand before the bier of some courageous civil rights worker whose life will be snuffed out by the dastardly acts of bloodthirsty mobs. Difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. And as we continue our charted course, we may gain consolation in the words so nobly left by that great black bard who was also a great freedom fighter of yesterday, James Weldon Johnson. Before we begin, because we had no participant in the high school, Pastor Warner will deliver what would have been recited by our high school students.
Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with the steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last. Where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast.
Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, had not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way where tears have been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright stars cast. Lift your hands.
Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed? We have come over a way which the tears have been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out of our gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the bright gleam of our bright star is cast.
Move the light.
song of the hope that the present has brought. They sing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud high as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the Lord has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing a rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on to victory.
Good morning, church. I will be rapping my speech with a little bit of help from Kalia, Nicholas, and the group at the day.